Welcome to Returning to Soul, a podcast for lawyers and other high achievers seeking deeper meaning, purpose, and fulfillment in their work and lives. My name is Jessie Brown. I practiced law for 15 years before becoming a career coach and purpose guide for lawyers and other high achievers. I also work as a meditation teacher, sound healer, breathwork facilitator, and forest bathing guide, and I facilitate retreats in Sedona, Arizona. So today we have a very special episode. I'm going to share a mini version of my signature workshop on the neuroscience of manifestation to help you leverage the power of your brain to create the life you deeply desire. Without a vision, the people perish, according to Proverbs. But when we have a vision, we thrive. We feel motivated and alive. We are more resilient to stress. And we have a strong sense of purpose that keeps us focused on our goals, even in the face of challenges. The manifestation formula I'm going to teach you guys comes from the work of the late neurosurgeon and neuroscientist, Dr. James Doty. And I like to think of this formula as planting a tree. So first, we prepare the soil. This involves calming our nervous system and focusing our mind. And we'll do this today through a brief guided meditation. Second, we choose the seeds we want to plant, which involves clarifying our intentions. Third, we pull the weeds that would choke the life out of our growing plant. So this involves training our mind to think positive, accurate, and empowering thoughts and reframing any limiting beliefs that would hinder our ability to manifest. Fourth, we plant our seeds, which involves embedding our intentions into our subconscious. Fifth, we nurture our growing tree, which involves various practices that we'll discuss. And sixth, we allow whatever fruit our tree wants to produce to come forth. We let go of attachment to a specific outcome and timeline, and we trust the process, knowing that sometimes we limit ourselves when we set goals or intentions, and the universe often has something much better in store for us. So we'll explore these steps in more detail, but first we are going to prepare the soil with a guided meditation. So I invite you listeners, if it's safe, if you're not driving and you're able to, I invite you to close your eyes and just take a few deep breaths, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. See if you can extend the exhalation so it's twice as long as your inhalation. So breathing in, breathing out. Again, I invite you to breathe in and out. Just letting go of the stresses of the day, letting go of any worries or concerns, just arriving in this present moment. Noticing wherever the breath is most prominent in your body. Perhaps you notice the breath at your nostrils or on your upper lip. Perhaps you notice the rising and falling of your chest and belly as you breathe. Just noticing. And now I invite you to recall a moment in your life where you experienced an immense amount of gratitude. Maybe this was the birth of a child, time with a close friend, something you accomplished that you're really proud of, some time in nature, or whatever comes to mind. Visualize this as if it's happening right now. Who's there with you? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you smell? What do you taste? What does gratitude feel like in your body? Once you feel it, bring that feeling up into the center of your chest, into your heart space, and breathe in gratitude from your heart. Allow this feeling to expand to every cell of your body. And now, from this heart-centered state, imagine stepping forward in time, a year into the future. Visualize your future self as if this is who you are today. You're feeling joyful, you're energized, you're peaceful, you're full of love and vitality. See yourself thriving in your relationships. Feel that sense of love and connection. Look around and see the faces of the people around you, smiling at you, you smiling at them. Perhaps you're hugging or holding hands close to those you love. Just feeling how it feels to be deeply connected in this way. Now feel appreciation for your health and well being. You're well rested, you're strong, nourished. You wake up each day vibrant and excited for the day. Your work is meaningful and you look forward to it. You have a strong sense of purpose in your life. You're at peace with money. You're able to give and receive freely. And you're grateful that all your needs are met. Now take a deep breath in and embody this future self as if this is who you are right now. And from this empowered future state, gently reflect what would need to change for this vision to become your reality. What's different between how you feel in this future version and how you feel now? What habits or ways of being might need to shift? Imagine different areas of your life, your relationships, your health, your mindset, your inner state, your work, your daily rhythms and habits. And notice what looks or feels different in your ideal future visualization. Allow this awareness to arise naturally with compassion for yourself. Now, bringing your attention back to this present moment, noticing where your body makes contact with the surface beneath you. Perhaps your body is sitting on a chair or your feet are on the ground. Notice that sense of support. Taking a few deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, extending your exhalation longer than the inhalation, calming the nervous system, calming the body. And now ask yourself, what is most important at this stage of my life? What vision do I see for myself in 12 months? What action can I take to move toward this vision? What can I do consistently to create momentum to bringing this vision into reality? What might be holding me back from this vision being my current reality? Greet whatever arises with compassion, welcoming this new awareness. I invite you to place a hand over your heart and thank yourself for showing up fully, for exploring where you are and where you want to be. Breathe in gratitude for this future you that already exists within you and for the courage within you to take the steps needed to bring your vision into reality. Let this feeling settle into your body before slowly bringing your awareness back to the room, back to the space that you're in, back to this present moment. If it feels good, I invite you to stretch. You could roll out your head, roll out your wrists, whatever movement feels good for your body. And now, if you'd like, I invite you to take a moment and write in a journal whatever came up for you from this visualization. And if a vision arose of what you'd like to bring into reality in the next 12 months, I invite you to write that down in the present tense. So you could use language like I am, or I have, I feel, my life is, or I do, these present tense statements about your vision for your future. And your vision should be compelling enough to you to keep you motivated even when you encounter challenges. So this vision of your future is the seed that you will plant in your subconscious. Now we've prepared the soil by calming the brain and body and focusing the mind. We've chosen the seed we want to plant. Our next step is to kill the weeds that will choke the life out of our little tree. So what are these weeds? These weeds are the limiting, distorted, and outdated beliefs and ideas that we often have about ourselves and our lives. These are also the messages we hear from our inner critic, that part of our brain that lives in that fear-based survival location, just wanting to help us survive. And the inner critic often says painful things like we're not good enough, smart enough, connected enough, wealthy enough, whatever it is, to have what we really want. And it may also say things like what we want is possible for other people, but not for us for some reason. So these limiting beliefs often come from what we heard, observed, or experienced in childhood, or also just from the culture around us. They come from the media, they come from comments that other people have made. And some of these beliefs may have kept us safe or helped us succeed when we were younger, but they're now getting in our way. So the key is we want to bring these limiting beliefs upstairs from the basement of our subconscious, upstairs into the light of our conscious awareness. And when they're upstairs, we can evaluate them. We can ask, is this belief true? Is it helpful? And if it's not true and it's not helpful, we can work on letting it go. We can reframe this belief. We can replace it with an accurate, empowering belief. So most of our choices and behavior are driven from our subconscious. And when these beliefs are still down in the basement, I call it the basement, beneath our conscious awareness, they're driving our choices and our behavior and how we show up in the world. And this is impacting the opportunities that are available to us, the way people respond to us, the relationships we have, our health, and we're often not aware. So increasing our awareness about these beliefs can have really positive effects in all areas of our lives. And one of the reasons that limiting beliefs serve as weeds that choke the seeds of our intention or our vision is because they kill our motivation. So if we believe we can't do or have something, or we can't become who we want to be, that the life we really want is not available to us, then we won't take any action to bring that into reality. So limiting beliefs create self-fulfilling prophecies. And they also prevent us from seeing opportunities that would help us manifest our intention. If you suspect you might have some limiting beliefs that could interfere with bringing your vision into reality, there are many ways to reprogram our subconscious, which is where those limiting beliefs reside. Feel free to reach out to me if you'd like support or some resources for this. And I also have a free workbook that I'll provide a link to in the show notes that has some guidance on how to work with limiting beliefs. So now we have prepared our soil. We've chosen our seed and we've killed the weeds. It's time to plant and nurture the seed of our intention. So this is a process that I'll share today, but it does require repetition. We embed our intention into our subconscious by repeatedly visualizing our intention as having come to pass and experiencing the positive emotions that accompany that. This process of visualization has been used by many successful people, Olympic athletes, CEOs, all kinds of people, and to bring their visions into reality. We can embed this intention by creating a vision board and viewing it daily, imagining that this or something better is our current reality and feeling grateful for that. When we repeatedly visualize something as having already happened, two things happen to help bring it about in reality. So the first is it becomes familiar to our brain. And the second is our brain starts scanning the environment for opportunities to help bring our intention into reality. So our brains tend to resist what is unfamiliar as potentially dangerous. And when we repeatedly visualize something and it becomes familiar to our brain, the brain doesn't resist it as much when we take the risks, the healthy risks that are necessary to pursue our dreams. And when we couple visualization with positive emotions, there are feel good reward neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin that are released. And this signals to our brain that what we are visualizing is important for us. So the brain then begins scanning the environment for opportunities to help bring what we are visualizing into reality. And this is how we harness the power of our brains to accomplish our deep longings and goals. So our brains are exposed to over 10 million bits of data per second, and only 50 bits make it through to our conscious awareness. So our brain is filtering out almost everything. When we're chronically stressed, the 50 bits of data that make it through are usually related to keeping us safe. A Roman historian named Tacitus once said, "The desire for safety stands against every great and noble enterprise." So while we don't want to take reckless risks, healthy risk taking is often necessary to bring about the positive changes that we seek in our lives. And doing the work we're talking about today can help our brain actually reorient what is getting through the filter. So when we're calm and we regularly visualize our intention with positive emotions, the 50 bits of data that make it through our brain's filter include the opportunities to help us bring our intentions into reality. We literally see things we would otherwise have missed. So this is what's meant by that quote from The Alchemist. When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. When we want something and embed our intentions in our subconscious, our brain helps us to achieve it. So the next step is we nurture our growing tree. As we begin to take steps to bring our intention into reality, weeds may pop up. These can be old limiting beliefs, comments from other people that reflect their limiting beliefs. It may be fear of the unknown, and it may be our brain's desire to return to what feels familiar and safe. So we continue to work with these limiting beliefs to reframe them. And I put some examples of how to do this in the workbook that is linked in the show notes. Another practice that we do to nurture our growing tree is to regularly view your vision board if you have one. Or another practice is to write out a version of your vision or your intention as if it's already happened. You could even write a letter thanking life, thanking the universe that what you have visualized is your life, is your reality, and you regularly reread that letter. So Dr. James Doty talked about writing a list of everything he wanted to manifest. So that's fine as well. And we want to regularly review this list or this letter or our vision board and imagine that this is our current reality, feeling that gratitude, feeling those positive emotions. Maybe it's love, connection, whatever's coming up for you as you visualize what you want to bring into reality as if it's your current life. So when we do this, again, our body is going to help us by scanning for opportunities to bring our vision into reality. And those are often going to look like synchronicities or meaningful coincidences. You meet just the right person at just the right time. Doors are going to open for you. This has happened in my life many, many, many times over the past 5 years. So I know it's going to happen for you as well as you practice what we're talking about here today. You can notice and celebrate your progress along the way. And noticing the synchronicities and celebrating your progress are two ways to build faith in this process, to build faith in yourself and your intuition. And building that faith, strengthening our trust in the universe and life and ourself is an important part of this process as well. I also encourage to nurture your growing tree, that you guys read inspiring books or listen to inspiring podcasts about people who have overcome challenges, maybe similar challenges as to what you're facing, and have achieved their dreams. So this, again, helps build that muscle of faith and trust that what we want is possible. Something I did when I was considering leaving law was I made a vision board about 5 years ago of former practicing lawyers. These were all women attorneys who had been practiced law, and they had pivoted and were now doing something else in their career, very different things. One was a musician, another one was an author, another one was a fitness instructor, a VP at Peloton. And what this did was helped me believe that what I wanted was possible, that I too could pivot from law, which is what I desired to do, and build a career that I found meaningful and aligned with my strengths and the type of life that I want. So We want to expand our belief in what's possible for our life. And another way to nurture this growing tree is to limit your time with the people who may bring you down, who may drain your energy, and who may tell you that what you want isn't possible or isn't practical or realistic. So, anyone who triggers feelings of anxiety, fear, guilt, doubt, these are the kind of people we want to limit spending time with, because those emotions block our ability to hear and trust our inner guidance and take the healthy risks that are associated with bringing our vision into reality. So, anybody that you're connected to that really helps you believe in yourself, trust in yourself, believe in possibility, expand your faith, and believes that life and the universe is, good and loves you and has your best interest at heart. These are the type of people that we want to spend more time with. And next, so we have prepared our soil. We've chosen the seeds. We've killed the weeds. We've planted our seeds. And we have nurtured our growing tree. So what's left? Now we allow ourselves to be surprised by whatever fruit our trees produce. So while we visualize highly specific outcomes to train our brain on what's important to us, at this point, we let go of attachment to a specific outcome or a specific timeline, and we trust the process. We trust the universe, trust life, your higher power, your higher self, whatever it is for you. And we trust that often if we don't manifest exactly what we wanted, and we're following all the steps that I've described, including that repeated visualization, working with those limiting beliefs, doing any inner healing work that might still be necessary. If we're doing all of this and we're not manifesting what it is we want, then perhaps we revisit our vision and see, is this still aligned with what I want? And could it be that something even better is around the corner for me? Because that's often what I found to be the case. So, as we close this episode together, I wanted to read a poem to you guys that I have found really helpful in supporting me in this process. And this poem is called Until One is Committed. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance, which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. I have learned a deep respect for one of Goethe's couplets. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. And that poem was by William Hutchinson Murray. So I hope you enjoyed it. Now, as we close, I invite you, if it's safe, if you're not driving, to just take a moment to close your eyes, connecting with yourself, and feeling into this word commitment. What would it look like to fully commit to bringing your vision, your intention for your life into reality? So that's all for today. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. This is Returning to Soul, and I'm so glad you're here. Until next time, be well.